Okay, Ant. So, first off, rest in peace. Like you said, rest in peace, Jalen Ferguson, bro. So let's move on. Moving on, man. NIL, man. Name, image, likeness. These boys out here getting money. These college kids out here getting money like it's 88. How you feel? How you feel, bro? These boys getting that brown paper bag money, man.
Man,
Brown paper bag.
yo, that dude from the U, they saying my man gave him 9 milli. They denied that immediately because nope, 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 nope. We ain't giving him no 9 milli because they don't want all these people to be up in arms about this whole NIL deals. So
hmm
I'm just happy the players getting paid, man. I'm really just happy the players getting paid, and these college coaches, they can't control these players the way that they used to anymore and be disrespectful and say whatever they want to say or say, yeah, I'll send you back to wherever you got to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm glad that there's some kind of level playing field, um, that it is right now. And it's because of name, image, and likeness, which should have been happened. It's ridiculous. It's still, if you think about it, it's still ridiculous that the NCAA controlled your name, image, and likeness. You couldn't make no money off of your own name, but they could. That was so ridiculous, and
Yeah.
we were just okay with that. Like, yeah, we're giving them free education. Never mind the hundreds of millions of dollars that they're generating for the institution every year.
hmm Hey, you remember Ed O'Bannon that played basketball at UCLA?
Mm-hmm.
Remember he sued the NCAA and they had to stop making the video games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But now players getting that bag now. And they bring the game back. I think it's like next year.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say? You saw so I think Tennessee they just got to commit. The quarterback from the Samoan kid from Long Beach.
Okay.
I think he got paid like 10 million, something crazy like that.
Wow.
They got another offensive lineman. He played for IMG Academy in Bradenton.
Yeah.
But he's Samoan. I think he's either from Cali too or Hawaii. They paid him like 9 million, something crazy like that.
So you see that number, right? That number is crazy, right?
Yeah,
Like, if you imagine the number it's going to be for Arch Manning at Texas, whatever they gave him, because this
yeah.
is Texas. Texas is the diamond institution for the state of Texas. University of Texas at Austin is the diamond college institution for that entire state. Texas has a lot of money. I can only imagine the amount of money they offered Arch Manning for NIL deals. Like, I would say $20 million just because his name brings something. Like, you're not just getting him as a quarterback; you're getting his name. He instantly brings credibility to your program because his last name is Manning. Instantly.
Yeah. Um, you saw you talking about Texas. Texas A&M Booster said they spent 25 million on the recruiting class last class.
That's why I had the number one recruit class.
Yeah,
That's why Nick Saban was pissed.
yeah. Hey, speak to Nick Saban. It's funny because I want to talk about him. I want to talk about that midget. So he was so he I know you saw like a month ago. Yeah, he had a press conference where he was talking about guys are paying for players to come to their team now. They're not even good. Jimbo Fisher, yada yada yada. Jackson State, Travis Hunter, yada yada. Deion Sanders. My thing is, bro, Knicks haven't been paying players under the table for years.
I
For
know.
since he was at least at Michigan State, which is 22 years ago.
I know. I
And
know.
and and now he mad because that 50K and that charge aren't doing nothing no more. Niggas don't care about the 50K no more. They get millions now.
Yeah, they don't care about that 50K. They trying to get $1 million deal, $2 million deal, $3 million deal. Like, last
Exactly.
year, Bryce Young made $1 million last year. He probably about to make double that this year, more than double that this year for Alabama, and it's final year because he's leaving this year. Him and C.J. Stroud, they're both leaving this year for the NFL. Um, yeah, man, it's just you talking at the side of your mouth about them, but meanwhile, the past 10, 15 recruiting classes at Alabama has been number one because you've been paying your players.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
how? Listen, man. there ain't no magic trick as to why players from Florida, South Florida, go to Alabama. Ain't nothing in Alabama. And players flying from Hawaii, in Tua's case, Bryce Young in California, are going to little old Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I wonder why. Is because they love being down south in Alabama, or is it because they getting millions of dollars? You tell
Yeah.
me.
Najee Harris. He said when he was at Alabama, he said he hated it. Like he couldn't relate to no one because he's from the Bay Area, California, and he's like, I hate it out here, yada yada yada. But conveniently, how would he get there? I see his mom was talking about, oh, I lived in homeless shelters. I was in homeless shelters, but then I got a job in Alabama. We know Bama got you that job. Why you acting like that?
Yeah, come on, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's be real, man. Let's be
yeah,
real. Like, come on. Tua's family, Bryce Young's family, you've noticed they all moved up to Alabama to be with the son. Like,
exactly.
yeah, like, yeah, come on, bro. Come on. It's gonna be interesting to see. They signed I think like a 5-star quarterback last year. Apparently he was lighting it up doing spring practice this year. Super athletic. He's
Yeah,
lighting it up.
yeah, Jalen Miller.
Yeah, he's supposed to be. Yeah, he's going to be the next. He's the heir apparent to Bryce Young. So Bryce Young's going to leave this year, and he's going to be the starting QB next year. So it's
Man,
going to be. And you know what's interesting too? That whole Arch Manning to Texas, and Texas is expecting him to be ready to play. But I mean, they had the number one quarterback from last year, Quinn Ewers, who went to Ohio State and then transferred to Texas. I mean, he was a 5-star blue chip recruit too. You know what I mean? And he made $1 million his first year in NIL deal.
yeah,
Uh,
they were calling Quinn Ewers the greatest quarterback he's seen in 10 years.
I know that's what I'm saying. So it's going to be interesting to see, is he even going to play? This reminds me so much, and it happened at Texas too. This happened at Texas. This is going to remind me so much of the Chris Sims Major Applewhite quarterback debate at Texas. Chris Sims came in as a all-world 5-star recruit. Phil Sims' son from New Jersey, the quarterback. Quarterback rich New Jersey. He goes down south to Texas, and Major Applewhite was the heir apparent quarterback. Like he was the guy who was supposed to lose his job, but Major Applewhite, man, kept on balling. Man, he kept on balling.
Hmm.
So yeah, this reminds me so much of that, man. It's gonna be interesting to see, if what happens because Quinn Evers, whatever his name is, he went there with the intent that I'm gonna be a 3-year starter at Texas. Now it's looking like Arch Manning's going there. It's looking like he may be a 1-year starter because if he plays shitty this first year, man, they're gonna be looking at Arch Manning to come in and start as a true freshman.
Yeah, they about to Jalen Hurts him.
Oh yeah. Most definitely, Jalen Hurts him. Most definitely, and he has, and Quinn Ewers, he has that cockiness too as a quarterback. That cockiness, that Pat Mahomes cockiness. I think he rocks like a shag in the back,
Got a bullet, yeah.
mullet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he has that cockiness that a quarterback has from Texas. He has that Kyler Murray stuff, that Pat Mahomes stuff, that Baker Mayfield kind of a feel to him. So he just has to perform on the field. He just has to perform. So.
Hmm.
And he reminded me. I was kind of shocked. Like, why would you want to leave Ohio State? Um, and I was getting some Tate Martell vibes from him. Tate Martell left Ohio State because he couldn't play. Then he left Miami because he couldn't play, and then he's going to UNLV. I think I was just like, why? C.J. Stroud ran 2 quarterbacks out of Ohio State. He ran Tate Martell and he ran Quinn Evers from Ohio State.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
No. Justin Fields ran out Tate Martell.
that's right. Justin Fields did. Yep,
Yeah.
Justin Fields did. Yeah. So
CJ Stroud ran out Quinn Ewers.
he ran off Quinn Evers. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I'm
um,
be I'm be honest, bro. I'll be honest, man. CJ Stroud, Bryce Young. I love black QBs. Actually I think they're biracial. Either way, they're black, whatever. I love my black QBs, man, but I I, I just don't see with them, man.
I say this:
Like,
Um,
bro, you what they're doing what they're supposed to with five-star wide receivers.
I was that's exactly what I was going to say. They haven't shown they haven't shown to me anything that says, oh wow, that's an NFL quarterback. They're like CJ Stroud had like three first rounders on the receiving team last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has all world receivers. Like you know what I mean? Bryce Young. I mean, he had Jameson Williams. He had the other like John Mechie. He had those tight ends.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro. CJ Stroud was throwing 5 yard slants the whole season.
I
People,
know,
people, people call him top. People call him a top five QB.
I know. He was throwing 5 rush slants, and he was just throwing the ball as far as he could,
Yeah,
so both of those guys can get under the ball. Like that's really what he did. It's gonna see when it comes down to the draft day and to the combine. I think they're really gonna break down. They're really gonna break down his film, and they're gonna break down Bryce Young's film and say, are they this good, or are the players they're playing with this good? I think with CJ Stroud, I think they're both gonna have to answer those questions, particularly Bryce Young because he's so tiny. They have him listed as 6 foot. There's no way he's 6 foot.
he like 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah, he's about 5'10". There's no way he's 6 foot. No way he's 6 foot. And if you're gonna be that tiny, you better be Kyler Murray fast, or he better be NFL record holder accuracy Drew Brees. One of those two things. He ain't Kyler Murray fast, and I don't know if he's Drew Brees accuracy because he's just throwing the ball to wide open people right now. Um, so it's going to be interesting to see what his measurables is as far as his height. Because I don't think he's 6 foot. Just like how I remember they had Kyler Murray at 6 foot. And then when the combine came around, a lot of teams were saying, look, as long as he's 5'10", we're gonna take a chance on him in the first round. Don't be 5'7", 5'8", because Kyler Murray looked 5'7", 5'8" on the field. He looked
Yeah, he
tiny
does.
on the field. Don't be 5'7", 5'8", talking about he could be the number one pick. They were willing to like if he could be 5'10", be good. And he measured in I think 5'10" and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Jalen Hurts, he looks tiny, man. He's really tiny. At least, and Kyler Murray looked a little bit more thicker. Kyler Murray looks a little thicker. Jalen Hurts look, not Jalen Hurts. Bryce Young looks tiny, and he looks really, 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 really tiny. You know what I mean? Really, really, really tiny, man. He's not thick at all.
Yeah,
Um,
he built like a slot receiver.
he is. He's built like a slot receiver. He's built like a slot receiver. Russell Wilson, he's short, but he's thick. Kyler Murray, he's short, but they're thick. They're both like big, you know what I'm saying? Big, bulky. Particularly Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, 10, 11 years in now, he's, I'd give Russell Wilson about 220, you know what I'm saying? 220, 215. He's put on some weight, you know? So it's gonna be interesting though to see what happens with those guys. Speaking about, our picks for the year, we're going straight into our picks. I think it's gonna be Alabama again. They got Bryce Young and they got Will Anderson. I mean, those are the two guys, and they have the safety, Jordan Battle. Nick Saban coaches defense, so the defense is going to be good. The offense is all about replacing those receivers, replacing the receivers. How can they replace, all those receivers and the tight ends? I think the defense is going to be good. It's, those first 3-4 games of the season, getting the receivers to, what I mean, getting the receivers into the game, getting them, what I'm saying, getting them into the game. And this year was supposed to be the guy Aggie Hall from Florida who had signed with them, but he left the program. I think he transferred to Texas.
Yeah.
So this was supposed to be his year. This is supposed to be his sophomore breakout year. But like I said, it's going to be interesting to see what they have. But I think it's going to be um, Ohio State, um, Alabama. I got USC, man. They took Oklahoma's quarterback and Oklahoma's receiver.
Too soon, man. Too soon. Too soon.
I got USC because here's the thing: USC hasn't been good in a long time, but they always get recruits. The coaching has just been the coaching has just been atrocious for the past minimum of 10 years. They
I'm,
always
I'm,
get
I'm
they're
be honest.
always they're
Go ahead.
always going to get good players. They're always going to get good players. So I think now is having this guy, having him coaching him up, even though his defenses were terrible at Oklahoma. But he had the players. I mean, his defenses were terrible at Oklahoma, but every year he had at least one defensive player go in the first or second round. He had multiple guys going in the first or second round. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing USC, to see how that pans out. Alabama, obviously, Ohio State, Georgia. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Georgia, with Spencer Bennett the fourth. I can't wait. I mean, I just can't wait. Georgia's going to reload. I mean, all those guys went in the first round on defense. I think they're just going to reload again. That defense is going to be amazing. So yeah, those. I think USC for me is my sleeper pick, although it's a really sleeper because they have Oklahoma's quarterback and receiver and their head coach. So we'll see.
True. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm be honest with you, bro. You talking about USC, man? So it's two things. First off, I want to say you said USC gonna make the playoff. I think if USC makes the playoff, they're gonna end up like how Lincoln. They're gonna be what they're gonna do in the playoff with Lincoln Riley did at Oklahoma. They're gonna go to playoff. They're gonna get embarrassed. They're gonna get blown out, and it's gonna keep happening until next year. So people realize stop putting these guys in the playoff. Like that's exactly what happened to Oklahoma. But and second, I want to say, you said USC, they're getting good talent, but they're getting good talent, but they can't win because of bad coaching. I'll be honest with you, bro. This is gonna sound crazy. I know I got some Cali people watching me, some Cali people listening. Honestly, man, I think USC is kind of exciting because of the personnel. Honestly, bro, I think West Coast kids are kind of overrated.
Oh, 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 ooh,
And that's how I feel.
ooh, ooh. You do know the Heisman Trophy winner last year is from California. You do know C.J. Stroud is from California. They're all LA based kids.
Didn't Kenny Pickett win last year?
Who?
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett? From where?
Yeah.
The Heisman Trophy winner?
Yeah, Pittsburgh. Yeah.
No, it's Bryce Young. Bryce Young won.
Oh, was? Oh.
Yeah.
But who cares, bro? We just told you, Bryce Young was throwing 5-yard slants.
I mean, you do know Najee Harris. Najee Harris is from the Bay Area, and we can agree Najee Harris was a beast at Alabama, and he was a beast in the NFL. Although in the NFL so far, he looks like he's 3 yards in the cloud of dust in the NFL so far.
That boy TJ Duckett status. But listen. Listen. But listen, you name two players. Honestly, bro, think about you name two. You name two offensive players. You gotta think about it. Football is based on offense and defense.
Yeah.
USC defense is terrible, and they got a bunch of 5-star, 4-star kids from California, bro.
Yeah, the coaching hasn't been the best, man. That coaching has been atrocious, bro. Let's be real. The coaching has been atrocious. They haven't really had a good coach, really, since maybe Lane Kiffin. And I think Lane Kiffin's a good coach. I just think Lane Kiffin, when he was at USC, he got it too early, and he didn't know how to respect it and treat the program properly, as far as being bright-eyed and being in the bright lights. I think now, if you were to put Lane Kiffin at USC now, I think he would be really, really successful, because he was successful at USC for a little while, and then the wheels fell off, because I just felt like he wasn't ready for that. He wasn't ready for the program yet, and he says it himself. He got the job too early. He got that job way too early.
Hey man, USC did him so dirty, bro.
They did him dirty. They fired that man on the tarmac. Like, bro, that's crazy, bro.
On the tarmac at LAX, that's crazy.
And they had the man begging, saying like, "Come on, give me another chance. Like, no, I can turn the program around. Just give me more time." That man was begging on the tarmac, bro, and they fired that man.
Bro, that's crazy, bro. They didn't even let him ride back to the school to get his car there. They made him catch a taxi.
I know. That's dirty. And USC was like his college dream job. I know we hired University of Miami. I know they hired what's his name? Cristobal. I think Cristobal is going to be a 10-3 coach. 10-3, 11-2 every year. 10-3, 11-2 every year. It's going to be one game where he loses because he just got out coached or he made the wrong decision. There's no way on earth,
Mm-hmm.
no way on hell how he never made it to the playoffs or made it to a national championship game with that quarterback.
Bro, and the Pac-12 so soft, bro. That was the worst part.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You have that quarterback, bro, and you can't make the playoffs. You have that quarterback and you can't make the national championship game. Like, give me a break. Come on, bro. That right there. When
Mm-hmm.
when they said Miami's going to hire him, I said, nah, bro. Anybody who has that quarterback and can't win, I'm sorry, bro. You're not a good coach. Just like how I felt. My man had Baker Mayfield and he had Pat Mahomes and he couldn't win it. Even though it was Texas Tech, it's hard to win. Only one person has won at Texas Tech, and that's Mike Leach. It's a tough place to win, but still, bro, you got to at least win some games. Go to a bowl game, like, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You had that quarterback at Oregon, and you could not win. You could not go to a bowl. You could not go to a playoff game. It was always the Rose Bowl. Something's up, man. Something's up. And for me, I would have rather Miami went after Lane Kiffin. I think
Um,
I think Lane Kiffin would have done a better. I think Lane Kiffin would do a better job at Miami than Mario Cristobal would be. But I think Mario Cristobal got hired because the alumni, the guys with the money, they wanted Cristobal. So if we're gonna pay his salary, we want the guy we want. We want Cristobal. I think that's how it played out.
and I like you said, I believe Mario Cristobal is he's gonna max out at 10 wins a year. He might win. He probably gonna win like he might win maybe 2 or 3 ACC championships. But I think Mark Cristobal he's an excellent recruiter. He's an A1 recruiter. But as a pure X's and O's coach, yeah, he's not getting it done. And he has made the hires to he has made the hires on to as coach and on defense he made good coaching hires, but on offense it's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, you bro, when you hire Frank Ponce as QB coach, you you really don't know what you're doing, bro. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God, I was watching because, bro, you know, bro. Appalachian State played in Miami last year. When I was watching, I was like, man, App State defense kind of good, but their offense is just whatever. And you hired the OC from that. And you
Oh
hired
man,
him. You
I
hired him that.
no lie, man. Literally, I would have went with Lane Kiffin, and like we said, I think Mario Cristobal. I think he's going to max out every year at 10 wins, 11 wins. He's going to be 10-3 or 11-2 every year. Win the ACC championship, 2 or 3 ACC championships, and then lose in the playoff game. Or I don't think he's going. To I don't. He's going to lose up. 'Cause I don't think he's an X and O guy. I think one. I think he's a really good recruiter. And
Mm-hmm.
really good recruiter these days. What does that mean? You got more money than the next college. Think about that. Alabama has been. He was at Alabama recruiting for Alabama
Mm-hmm.
because Alabama had deep pockets. They got money to give players. That's really what it comes down to. So,
Mm-hmm.
is he really a good recruiter, or did he have a really good alumni base with deep pockets to get players? That's what we really have to look at these days now. But I really think they should have went with Lane Kiffin. Knowing not just that, but that Lane Kiffin is going to have his eye working, but have another eye on another job because it's Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, it's Lane.
I think he's a good coach.
Bro, Lane Kiffin, he's always planning his next move.
Yeah, I think he would have done well at Miami, but I think Lane Kiffin, man, he's going to be looking his eye on your job and looking on his eye for like the next job. And if that's the case, I'm fine by that. And I really like the guy. I'm going to tell you a guy, and you're going to think, and you're going to be like, I can see that. He's a guy, came up in the system, played the NFL a few years, 2 3 years, got straight into coaching immediately. This is the last time they were really good. One
Don't
championship.
don't say Ken Dorsey.
Ken Dorsey.
Oh God.
Ken Dorsey.
Man.
Ken Dorsey. Did you see what he did to Cam Newton? Cam Newton's MVP year. Did you see what he's been doing to Josh Allen? That's all him. I mean, that's him and the coach Brian Daboll, but Brian Daboll was terrible with the Dolphins. And then Buffalo hired him. I mean, the Giants hired him as the coach. But yeah, I'm telling you, I'm Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey.
Yeah, man, I guess, bro. But yeah, speaking of Chris Paul some more, like you said, I think he was popular hire. I think he's a popular hire. Miami is, yo soy cubano, so they obviously the Miami natives love to hire. So it was hometown thing. He's a Columbus grad. The Miami Booster Club is pretty much all Columbus grads. So I mean, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Even though
Mm-hmm.
the only Christopher we respect is Wallace, but it's Columbus, I guess. I like the O line coach that he brought with him, Alex Mirabal. He's a really good O line coach. He's a Columbus grad too. And shoot, yeah, bro.
Yeah, he just a side note. He was coaching at Columbus. Alex Mirabal. When I
Mhm.
played at Palmetto, he was. I think he was like the strength and conditioning slash O line coach at Columbus.
Oh wow, that's what's up.
It's a long time. It's over 20 years ago.
Yeah,
he's
and
been. He's come a long way in coaching, hasn't
yeah,
he?
yeah, yeah. That's called upward movement.
Upward mobility.
Yeah,
Upward.
I was gonna say, the quarterback coach Frank Ponce. He used to be the head coach at Corey. That's crazy, right?
For Miami.
Yeah, crazy. He went from being QB. He went from being the head coach at Coral Reef to it's crazy. He went. I think he worked at Coral Reef. Then he went. I think he went to Central, either Central or Northwestern. Then that Cristobal hired him at FIU. That's how he got into college.
Okay. When Cristobal got to FIU, he hired a lot of high school guys
Yeah.
to be quality control coaches starting out on the coaching staff because
Mhm.
he wanted Miami area players. And he turned the program around very, very quickly at FIU.
Yeah,
I
he
thought
did.
Pete Garcia fired him way too quick. Just because of one bad off year. Bro, he lost T.Y. Hilton, the best player in FIU history. Like the best player in FIU history just left the program. Like
Hmm.
graduated and left and got drafted. And you expect him to like FIU is in Alabama. There's going to be drop off every now and then because it's
Yeah.
FIU.
And,
Um,
and look at FIU now, bro. They can't even buy a win.
they can't even buy a win. That
Yo,
was the one of the worst decisions by that guy Pete Garcia. I remember that guy too. I went back in the day. I went to the University of Miami football camp. My rising senior year. Um, so to this, I still remember a couple guys who I was going against at that camp. But my rising senior year, I went to the University of Miami camp. And Pete Garcia was like the operational guy there for the camp, like doing like the day camp and stuff like that. I
yeah.
remember him say, man, he talks a whole lot, man. I'm like, man, this guy sounds like he's just so cocky, man. Like me as a kid, if me as a 16-year-old sees this, 17-year-old kid sees this, you could imagine how he is now, 20 something years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Nah, it's crazy. I'm cool with some FIU football players, and bro, they're on like they got like third world living conditions over there.
really,
Yeah, dudes over there changing in closets. Their locker room, I mean, look, their locker room ain't changed in like 20 years. It's a,
wow,
it's a, they struggling over there.
man,
they,
wow.
they got no commitment to excellence. I swear to God, it's like they have a football team just to say, hey, we're a D1 team. They don't really care about the football team.
And you would think, I think FIU and FAU should be better. Should be better. I think FIU, FAU, South Florida, and Central Florida has been good the past few years. The past like 5, 6 years, they've been really good. But
Yeah.
I think those lower programs should
Hmm.
be they should be good too, just because they're in Florida and they can get the leftovers that Florida State, Miami, and Florida can't get, or like ones Alabama can't get. Like
Exactly.
they can get those guys, and a guy who may not be tall enough, a guy who may not be big enough, and give him a chance, and then watch him show out. You know what I mean? That always happens. Um,
Exactly. Exactly.
so
You got South Florida kids right now going to Central Michigan, Miami, Ohio, Toledo, all type of stuff. They can be going right there at FIU.
yeah, man, yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. I never understand. I never understand how kids from particularly South Florida can go if they're not like highly recruited, but like a bigger Division 1, how they can go. NCAA basketball has a thing called mid-major programs, right? Like mid-majors. They're not like a big program. They're a mid-major. They're Division 1.
Yeah,
They make it
like G5, like Group of Five.
Yeah, Group of 5. Yeah, I never understand why players from South Florida they would prefer to go to like a mid-major football program, like a Western Michigan or like a Western Carolina, coast. I mean, Coastal Carolina was good last year, but still, I mean, that's still a mid-major. Why would
Mhm.
you want to go there over like if UCF is offering you or South Florida or FIU or FAU? I mean, I wouldn't want to go to those places. Like, I'd rather stay. If I got to go mid-major, I'm going mid-major in Florida, man. Just as simple as that. That's just the way it is. And I'm gonna go mid-major in either Miami at FIU,
Mhm.
Boca Raton, which is still South Florida, Orlando, or Tampa. Like that's it.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. So like UCF and FAU are good teams. FAU and UCF are great team, and UCF actually recruiting really good now. But FIU and USF, they just got terrible coaches.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing really do about that. Like they're just losing. They just got losing culture. Like they just need to start fresh. I
And
know
USF used to be good a little while, just like within the past 10 years.
yeah, that was when they were in the Big East. And the Big East dissolved, and then
Yeah,
that was the end of their chapter.
man, oh man. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
think USF for a time was a top 5 program. You remember that one Thursday night game they played against Rutgers? It was like Rutgers is ranked like number 1, and USF was ranked like number 2, and I'm just like,
yeah, that was like the worst season ever.
that was the weirdest season ever. Rutgers and USF, like,
Yeah,
what the hell's going on?
yeah.
Yeah,
What was I gonna say? But yeah, FAU is all right, man. Honestly, the FAU is maxed out because Willie Tiger is kind of a trash coach, but they do have good talent though.
yeah, yeah,
And UC obviously UCF is pretty much a machine now. Like they're like consistently like 10 top 15 top 20 teams every year now.
yeah. And I
Honestly,
think FAU we're gonna see because I think a lot of those players at FAU those are still like some of Lane Kiffin's recruits because
yeah.
Lane Kiffin is a really good recruiter too as well.
Mhm.
We're gonna see how Willie Taggart is with once his players start coming in. Because man, I heard some of them horror stories of Florida State boy when he was there. Like that program fell off so quick when old boy left Texas A&M. He must have seen something coming in the pipeline. Like yo,
That's exactly what it was.
like
That's exactly what it was. Like,
these players,
Jim Fish knew what was going on. He dipped.
yeah, these players are trash. I'm recruiting trash. I have no quarterback. It's time for me to be out. That's what it felt like because they Florida State got terrible real quick, real quick. It was just like it's like okay, I had Jameis Winston, then I recruited DeAndre Francois. DeAndre
Mhm.
Francois is like redshirt freshman year. He looks kind of like okay, he looks kind of good. He can play, and then he tore his ACL, and he was just like, yep, deuces. That's it.
James Blackman. Oh hell no, I'm getting out of here.
He said himself the only reason why he recruited James Blackman was to stay in the good graces of Glaze Central. Like that area, like a lot of times these coaches sign players from schools just because it's the cost of doing business. I want to be able to go back into this school to recruit the next the 5-star, the next blue chip. So I got
Mhm.
to recruit a 2 or 3-star from the school as well. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
Mhm.
So yeah, man.
Because like West Palm Beach used to be like West Palm Beach, that Palm Beach County used to be like a FSU pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened now. They just went everywhere now.
Yeah, man. They're not going anywhere, man. They Palm Beach used to be the FSU pipeline, and then the Belle Glades area, Glades Central Pahokee used to be FSU and UF. Those players never came to Miami. They always went to USF. I mean, they always went to FSU or UF.
Nah,
Always.
bro. Nah, bro. Be fair. You don't got two really good players from there. They got Travis Benjamin and
Yep,
Clive Walker at the tight end.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, they did get Clyde. Yeah, they did get Travis Benjamin. Yeah, that's the only really like player from that area who they got that was good.
Yeah, when you think about that, that really is. That's crazy.
Who?
I said when you think about it, that really is the only player that was like really like a beast like that.
Yeah, think about that because all those players usually went to Florida or Florida State, and they
Mhm.
finally had one, and he was actually good. I think they
Who-
may have had a couple. Um, some of them turned out good, some of them didn't. But for the main one, Charles Benjamin, he turned out really good. He made a boatload of money in the NFL. I want
Yeah.
to say he made I want to say he made at least $30 million in the NFL.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Easy.
He had like two big contracts, two pretty big contracts.
Yep. Yep. And
Hey, what's the name? Wasn't Mike James from that area too?
yep, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Pink Panther, Mike James. Yep, he was.
Mike James. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. But that's about it, man.
All right.
We got off a little tangent about South Florida, but it is what it is. We Florida boys. We could do that.
It is what it is. 305, baby. 305.
Yeah, yeah,
All right.
man. You got anything you want to say to people before you leave?
Nah, man, that's about it, man. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Nothing left.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, bro. Well, thank you for watching, fans. Thank you for listening. This is a talking football with. This is the Talking Football with Akila Roberts podcast, and we wish you good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thanks, guys. Peace.